we homeschool year-round. Now, before you think that we're doing worksheets on Christmas Day, let me explain. We do homeschooling around our schedule, not a calendar that somebody else put out that you have to do school these days and these days and these days. We make homeschooling work for us and the chaos in my family. Learning for us happens throughout the entire year. Some weeks we'll do bookwork every single day of the week. Some weeks we'll only do bookwork a couple days. This allows for flexibility for doctor's appointments, children who just won't focus. Maybe it's too nice outside, nobody wants to open their books. Also allows us to take time when we're actually sick. We can stop and not do schoolwork. That's not saying kids get out of doing schoolwork when they're ill, because some days they are sick and mom still says, you're doing your bookwork. But other times it's best for them just to sleep. And we don't do schoolwork on those days. Although schoolwork happens year-round, it doesn't look the same every 365 days of the year. Real life happens in our chaos, and just because we didn't do official bookwork one week doesn't mean there was absolutely no learning that happened. My kids love having discussions with us. They will learn through everyday things, cooking, going on adventures, museums, and we stop and research things as we go as well. For me, being able to homeschool year-round allows the flexibility for these discussions and squirrel moments where we go off and learn everything we can about Star Wars. There are even times when I'm sick or my patience is at a meter of 0 at 9 o'clock in the morning. Some of those days I will pull back and we'll do a little bit less lessons because no one wants mom yelling at you because you forgot where you put your pencil. Just because we have a difficult week or a difficult season doesn't mean we're failing. I still keep track of where we're at and where we need to be by the end of the school year. But bottom line, as long as my children are learning and progressing, I feel like that is a successful school year. We're not trying to homeschool through the chaos. We're building a homeschool system that can survive our chaos. We do have weeks where we do curriculum every single day of that week. Learning happens all 365 days, whether it's in a book or not. Some weeks are heavier on curriculum work. Some weeks are heavier on unschooling. Our breaks become responsive towards where the boys are, our energy levels, how we're feeling, and the weather. Not because a date on the calendar says it's break time. If we want to do schoolwork the morning of Thanksgiving, we'll do some schoolwork the morning of Thanksgiving. Probably not doing schoolwork on Christmas morning though. Another benefit of doing school 365 is that if there's a lesson that somebody's really struggling in, we can stop and break it up. We could have the same lesson over 3 days if we needed to. Some days we need to stop, review what it's about, and slow down and figure out where they're having the hang up. It really does help knowing we don't have to be on a certain schedule and get certain lessons done. It has really helped my boys out because my older two have both had areas where we need to stop and focus and review stuff a little more than maybe other children were. The joy of homeschooling is we meet the child where they are at, not where society says they should be. Year-round homeschooling does not mean taking away breaks. It means we get to decide where those breaks go, and I love it. For this next section, I'm going to read off some statistics so you understand what I'm talking about with our curriculum. We use the good and the beautiful for language arts and math. They have 120 lessons. There are 52 weeks in a year. Everybody should know that one. If you divide 120 lessons by 52, there's only about 2.3 lessons per week that we need to do. So that means we can do 2 math lessons every single week with a few weeks with 3, and we would finish the whole entire course book by the end of our school year, which we do August through July. Realistically, if we completed 3 lessons in a week to finish the 120 lessons, that leaves approximately 12 weeks where we have flexibility for those days that we do less or we just need a week off because we're sick, life happens, or the weather, we want to be outside instead. I love this system. Those extra weeks can absorb the 6 days, the squirrel days, the moments where we just don't feel like doing lessons. I know I have a lot of flexibility there. We don't need every week to look perfect. We simply need to be making progress over time. 3 lessons a week is not overwhelming for me. Telling me I have to do 5 lessons a week and my family chaos? Oh boy. So this is another reason why we chose to do schoolwork 365 days a year. We still have a first day of school. Ours this year was August 3rd. We did our chalkboards that said back to school and had a fun day for our first day. It wasn't heavy on the curriculum. We discussed what our new school year was going to look like and a few changes I decided to put in our schedule this year. Our schedule is always evolving for what works for us. Year-round homeschooling is not more schooling for us. It allows for more flexibility in our year. Our curriculum does continue outside of our book work. I love taking the boys to the grocery store and teaching them there. We cook together. We have very deep discussions, and sometimes we have to look up information. I do not claim that I know everything. Writing and mailing letters to friends is also a great way to learn basic skills outside of the book work. We have done many trips to the bank. The boys know how to use their ATM. They know how to use Welcome to the chaos. Back to my video. We have taken trips up the street to watch construction crews, and because of that, my oldest wants to be a construction worker. If we wouldn't have taken time out of our day to walk half the block to meet the construction crew up there, they would have never gotten some of the amazing lessons that they received and such a strong bond with the head of the crew. We have many history conversations during dinner, observe science through everyday activities. I allow the boys time to problem solve in real life and teach them life skills that they don't get taught in a public school, like basic chores, dishes, laundry, cleaning the bathroom. To me, these are life skills that are also part of our homeschool curriculum, but you're not going to find them in our course books. There are days when one simple question turns into an hour discussion of us all throwing information in, answering things, asking more questions, and I love the beauty of homeschooling and that we have the time to sit on the couch and have these massive discussions on topics, and then they learn so much. The curriculum books may be closed at some times, but their brains are never turned off. Just because I choose to homeschool year-round for my family, it might not work for your family, and that is okay. That is the beauty of homeschooling, finding out what works for you and how to implement that into your chaos. Our homeschooling needs fit our real family. I really do value consistency and believe children need schedule, but I also believe we need to have some flexibility for them to be kids. There are times where life happens and homeschooling has to take a backseat for a little while. My husband was in the hospital last summer. Homeschooling did not happen. Family comes first. Once things were better, then we jumped right back into things and started up again. It is okay to take the needed breaks. Children are still going to learn. They're not behind because a family had an emergency that you had to take care of. Year-round homeschooling allows us to keep moving without demanding perfection in all the curriculum. Your family may thrive on a traditional homeschool calendar. It just does not work for my family. There's no prize for making your homeschool journey look exactly like somebody else's. Figure out what your needs are and what your state requirements are, and then go from there. Year-round homeschooling gives us consistency without locking us into such a rigid calendar. It gives us the freedom to live, rest, be a family, and handle unexpected chaos. We keep moving through our curriculum without feeling like every week must be perfect. Our homeschooling has to work around our real life, not require our real life to stop to make homeschooling perfect. This is why we homeschool through the chaos all year round. Are you a homeschooler? Do you follow a traditional schedule, year-round school? or land somewhere in the middle? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as Jet told you earlier. No matter which way you teach your children, I hope that you have a blessed school year.